Where Winds Meet is a free-to-play game set during a real period in Chinese history. The story is well crafted but very intricate. I actually had to dig into some Chinese history myself just to make sense of it. So in this video, I want to share some key background and walk you through the storyline. The Bright Tide storyline follows the MC from Qinghe to Kaifeng and will be the topic of this video. My next video will talk about the Dark Surge stories, which focus on a legendary assassin named Yanyun. So the story takes place during the 50 years between the fall of the Tang Dynasty and the rise of the Song Dynasty, from 907 to 960. It was a wildly chaotic era. In the north, 5 short-lived dynasties took turns ruling the old imperial heartland. That's why the period is called 5 Dynasties, or Wu Dai. Meanwhile, in the south and west, 10 smaller regional kingdoms were doing their own thing, which is where the name 10 Kingdoms come from, or Shi Guo. Up north, beyond the Yanyun region, the nomadic Khitans ruled. Their state was known as Liao. Yanyun is about 16 crucial frontier regions standing between the Khitans and the Chinese. Think of it as a high ground checkpoint that includes big modern-day cities like Beijing and Tianjin. Control it and you get a massive defensive war. Lose it and the Khitans get a straight downhill push all the way to the heartland of the Chinese civilization. One major event from this time was 936, when Shi Jingtang, a general under the later Tang, launched a rebellion. He made a secret deal with the Khitans. They'd help him seize the throne, and he'd give them Yanyun. That deal alone was shocking enough, but he even addressed the Khitan emperor as dad, despite being 10 years older. This is how Shi Jingtang founded the later Jin Dynasty. He only ruled for 6 years before he died, but China paid a huge price for his betrayal. The fall of Yanyun was a game changer. It opened the door for the Khitans to swallow the entire later Jin, and China wouldn't recover Yanyun for another 400 years. Soon after Shi Jingtang took power, the Khitans made their move. They marched on the later Jin Empire, leading to the tragic Battle of Zhongduqiao. The name Zhongduqiao means Middle Crossing Bridge. Wang Qing was a respected general of the later Jin Dynasty. He hatched a bold plan against the Khitans. Leading a small vanguard unit ahead into enemy territory, he expected the main army to follow. But it never came. In a shocking betrayal, his senior officer surrendered. Undeterred, Wang Qing and his men fought to the last, but the heroism couldn't stop the fall. The defeat at Zhongduqiao brought the later Jin Dynasty to an end, and the Liao Emperor seized the throne. All the above are real history. Back to the game, Wang Qing will become a key figure in the main story. The general's shrine in Qinghe is dedicated to him. After the tragic battle of Zhongduqiao, Wang Qing's adopted son, Jiang Yan, rescued the baby from the battlefield, and that baby becomes RMC. To avoid the Orient Pavilion, or AP, Jiang Yan hid in Qinghe and changed his name to Jiang Wulang. His original name, Yan, means the river is calm, and Wulang means no waves. So both mean the same thing. There's a popular fan theory that Wang Qing might be the MC's biological father. If that were true, Jiang Yan would technically be both the MC's adoptive elder brother and adoptive father/uncle. 3 years before the main story, Jiang Yan received a letter from Grand Minister Wei Daoji, another real historical figure. According to the letter, in South China, the kingdom of Southern Tang was facing a crisis called Green Puppet, basically WWM's version of a biohazard outbreak. Wei asked Jiang Yan to help resolve the crisis and also rescue Tianying, so Jiang Yan left Qinghe for southern Tang. Fast forward, now it's been 16 years since the Battle of Zhongduqiao. When the main story begins, we visit Jiang Yan's old house and immediately get jumped by some veiled guy. I mean, come on Jiang Yan, that disguise is just as obvious as the fake name that you picked. Anyway, Uncle Jiang doesn't hurt us. He just takes our jade and disappears. After that, we head back to Blissful Retreat and meet Auntie Han. On the surface, she runs the place, but her real identity is a water lady, a master of disguises. She works with Tian from the Evercare clinic. The clinic secretly performs plastic surgeries to turn volunteers into spies who can infiltrate the Khitans. But remember, this was the same era as the Holy Roman Empire. Medical tech was still very limited. The surgeries had a high failure rate. Even so, tons of Jianghu volunteers were willing to risk their lives. And if the surgery failed, they chose to live underground forever to protect the secret. Honestly, like many players, I thought they were enemies when I first entered the dungeon. Turns out, they're actually heroes who gave everything. Because of this secret operation, Auntie Han has a list of everyone who underwent surgery. That's one more reason why the AP is after her. After that, we run into Yi Dao. Dao literally means Chinese broadsword. He was sent by Chu, Auntie Han's ex-boyfriend. Chu, Jiang Yan, and Guangqing were all members of Well of Heaven, and they all fought in the Battle of Zhongduqiao, so it's pretty likely that the three of them are hiding some secret concerning us. Yi Dao once saved Chu in Blackwater City. Chu was badly wounded and fell into the Yellow River and was presumed dead. That same night we met Yi Dao, the AP attacked Heaven's Pier and burned down the entire village. We all got trapped inside Qianye's illusion, unable to escape. Ruby squeezed through a small cave and helped everyone get out, but she sacrificed her life in the process. Yi Dao also died, protecting us in the final fight against Qinghe. I especially love how this tragic ending is delivered so quietly through the words of a village bard. The Bright Tide tale is a great warm-up, but things get way more intense once we reach Kaifeng. My next video will cover the dark search stories in Qinghe, so stay tuned.